I know I don't talk politics on this page too often. As I told you guys, anything political I probably will more than likely crop out and put it on my political page. But the thing is, I really had to talk to the whole Alex Pretti of it all, Samantha Good of it all, because I just feel like with those two particular instances, I feel like they're very similar to what happened in the past. It really took somebody from white community to spark kind of intrigue for things to happen. So right now you see what they've done with the same thing, the way they militarized the Black Panther Party, the way they militarized different pro-black things, the way they tried to dispel all the things Dr. Martin Luther King did because he's a cheater, when Trump had like 4 wives, right? At least Dr. King had 1. So they try to dispel all the things that all the people who are, I guess, anti-establishment, or I wouldn't even think King is an anti-establishment in a sense, I guess, because he eventually claimed to be a socialist. Neither here nor there. The point is, they will villainize you when it doesn't fit their narrative. So they've been trying to find anything about Pretti being the bad guy in this instance. Because he was a nurse, he had his paperwork together, he did everything right on paper, so they want to villainize him in any way they can. And they've done that by basically this latest clip that they put out, which you're either going to believe it or not believe it. And to me, it's kind of like, I don't necessarily believe it all the way, because it's like, I don't know, I just feel like it's too convenient, you know, like, you know how AI is and how good AI is and how they have the girls dancing. Not saying I believe everything is AI, but I think in this particular instance it could possibly be AI, because the guy in the video don't even look like the Pretti in the other video. Pretti in the other video looked really skinny and malnutritioned, versus this guy they have in this video spitting and doing all these things. He looks like the Hulk. He looks aggressive. They look day and night. So I feel like he's an AI generated version of it. Whether that is true or not, that's just how it's coming off right now. They're creating a narrative to villainize and legitimize killing this guy. And when it's almost like they're basically saying, do you believe me or do you believe your lying eyes? They really want to put on a line whether or not what their truth is the whole truth and nothing but the truth, versus what we see for ourselves. So that is kind of like my frustration with this whole thing, and like where we're leaning with like news and how it goes nowadays. It's almost like you can't believe anything you see in the news. You can't believe anything you see on social media. It's like, where do you find the truth? Where's the truth? It's like now, instead of us believing and relying on investigative journalists, because they are so afraid of this administration right now, they're just kind of like going along with what their bosses tell them to do. That's why if you notice sites like MS Now is no longer with MSNBC, and then NBC has nightly news. And if you notice, NBC now is like very kind of pro-Trump, and then if you notice, MS Now is still doing the same thing they've been doing. So it's like really interesting to see like how quickly media has been taken over. And it's not surprising to me, because Trump has a relationship with these networks. Like, if you think about it, he was like one of the top selling probably TV shows in the history of his network, right? So if you have a strong player like this who's really successful in what they do, you're going to believe that they can bring monetary success to your network. So of course you're going to try to stay on his good side. At the end of the day, it's all business. I was looking up history, and like I'm a history buff. Like, my major in college was political science. I have a degree in political science, and and prior to me changing my major to political science, because my parents just thought that was something more practical, prior to that I had a degree in philosophy. I was pursuing my degree in philosophy, and so I'm really interested in what was happening, you know, in the prehistoric times, I guess you would say. So everything from the Stone Age to the Middle Ages to the Golden Age, that kind of stuff. So I was looking at like that age between like when Jesus was born and what other people were doing during that time. So during that time, like, it was a lot of wars and combat too. And not saying I don't believe in Jesus, I do believe in Jesus. Hi, Simon. Shares beauty. Hi, Simone. That's a Simone. Hey, Simone, girl. So not saying I don't believe in Jesus. I am a Christian, But sometimes what I see is even the story of Jesus was used as a political tool, right? And if you think about what he stood for during his time, he was literally a poor son of a single mom. I mean, not a single mom, but a mom who had him out of wedlock, so to speak, who rose to be King of Kings of the squalor, right? The King of Kings, Lord of Lords. And when he got to, and this is the part of the story people always miss out on, when he got to, was it Jerusalem, or he went there to, like, people thought he came to, like, free them from the Romans. But when he got there, he was, like, preaching the good news of God and, like, trying to talk about love and positivity. And the people were like, no, this is not why you're here. Like, what is going on? So they basically tried him 4 times that night. They broke all the laws of the land just to prosecute Jesus. They broke every single law because they weren't supposed to be celebrating. It was like during the Sabbath, and it was during nighttime. You aren't supposed to prosecute anybody at night. You're definitely not supposed to prosecute anybody during the Sabbath. So they broke all the rules just to crucify this man so that his message can die. Right? And the same thing my mom always said, if they did it to Jesus, they'll do it to you. And that's how I feel about everything of all of it. The Martin Luther Kings of it all, the Pretti of it all, the good of it all. All we see currently happening is a repeat of history and a repeat of time. Roman time, barbar time, all the medieval times, the Arabic times. It was the same thing over and over again, right? And the definition of insanity is seeing the same thing happen over and over again and expecting a different result. Every kingdom has its day. And no matter, and some kings have many years, hundreds of years of their children and their children and their children rulership, right? So we might not be able to get Trump done with today, but it's not about what he's doing today. It's how history will remember him. And what we can do in this time is, like some people in the prophesied days, is to stand up against it, right? Like the Jews did, right? Like the Hebrewites did, like a lot of people did during the past. There are so many evil conquerors during those days where people just wanted more and more land to dominate. Spain, right? The French, right? The Britons, right? So this is not new. And Trump has, I don't know if Trump has, but whoever created Project 2025, I'm trying to stabilize this. Okay. I don't know, because I was tired of holding it. I don't know if Trump is, but whoever wrote Project 2025, they have studied history, like, very thoroughly. And they know how this cycle goes. They know that in order to create nations and changes, it's not through, like, kumbaya and love and peace. It's through propaganda, changing narrative, and being forceful in doing what you want to do. Like, every great ruler that we have has done it through brawn, through strength, through force, through war. Nobody really did it through many treaties. Even treaties, the idea of treaties was created because they were tired of war. And they said, okay, how can we both, like Jerusalem and Judah and Israel? Back in the day, obviously we know now Gaza and Palestine. We know Gaza and Israel. It is what it is. But they have broken that treaty multiple times over history. But that's why they're so perfectly studied. Because if you look at the beginning of Judah, right, and Israel all being one, and then them splitting, and then the King of David's promise and all that kind of stuff, you see, and then you think about that is like way back in like 2 BCE, right? Like, and then you fast forward it all the way to today, to Jesus, and where his promise ended, saying that, you know, he's going to come back and give all the Jews all the land that they're promised. They are planning to have everything that God has promised them. And with that comes some of this ideology that we see. So you're not going to stop people who's been battling for over hundreds and thousands of years to try to fix it all in this 4-year period during this election cycle. What we have to do is eat the meat and spit out the bones. Just stay focused on what is present right now. Stay focused on what you're doing right now. Don't get caught up in feeling like so overwhelmed by what's going on in the news, because if you go back to the past, you can see the future, and the future is always kind of clear in who were the good guys and who were the bad guys, right? And the most in history, the people who are the good guys, the people who stood up, are the Pretties. He's going to go down in history as a good guy, no matter how they try to flip the narrative, because we are believing our lying guys, right? And at the same time, somebody like a Donald Trump, no matter what he tries to do and how aggressive he tries to be, he's going to go down in history as one of the bad guys. It just is what it is, because when you have people in famine, when you have people starving, when you have people complaining and hurt and talking about, that is the story. The story is not going to be just media. The story is going to be the stories of the people that are communicating to their children how they felt. What Maya Angelou say? Or kind of go away from what they made you feel. And right now, we all feel very much the same sentiments right now. And because we all feel like this, that is the history. History is the feeling of the people. What were the people feeling during that time? Nobody cares about the conquerors. It's about the feeling of the people who were saved by the conqueror, or who were put down by the conqueror. That's kind of like where it boils down to. How do you feel? Haile Selassie, how did he make you feel at the end of his life? Right? People praise him. People say he was the second coming of Jesus because of how he made them feel. And I think we kind of have to remember that. And just when we go into these elections, we're voting for the people we are supposed to vote for. We're kind of cleaning out the swamp, so to speak, in our own way, and not get so caught up in what Trump is doing, because history will tell the story of Trump. He's only one guy, and thank God, God gave us all lifespans, and he's at the tail end of his. So we don't have to worry about him for our children's generation. We have to worry about the legacy and the damage he's doing right now. But when you think about the future, you know that this too shall pass, and that we're on to bigger and brighter things, and that this is not going to be the end of our journey. I think the beauty of this time is Target's suffering like hell. I think Pretti, even though they're trying to villainize him in the news, we know the truth. I think it's allowing people to uprise. Just because he's flipping the narrative on Pretti right now, Alex Pretti, it doesn't mean people are going to leave the streets. We got him to back down, even though he got rid of Bavino. He still might bring in the other guy, I forget his name, the border czar. So we hope that when he comes in, he comes with a listening ear, more practical. I forget the congresswoman who was just sprayed, the Islamic woman. She is now speaking out. She has more fire under her than ever. They tried to silence Jasmine Crockett, and she's still out there with more fire than ever. So we have to take things as they are and see that there is progression, and things don't happen overnight. When they say Rome wasn't built in a day, they mean it, because Rome took over the world that they knew, right? There was still more world out there, and even now there's still more. There could be still more world out there. This is the world we know, to our framework. So that's what I have to say about that, and the Donald Trump of it all, and to kind of give you guys ease. Like, I feel like with me, I don't necessarily have anxiety about what's going on, because like I said, I study political science, so I kind of have an idea of like, these things change, these things progress, these things will pass, this too shall come to an end. But in the same breath, I wanted to give you guys like some confidence, and to know that at the end of the day, don't get stuck too far on what's going on now, because the future is bright. And you know why the future is bright? Because you see the fight. You see people not giving up the fight. Don't give up the fight. Stand up for your rights, right? And so that is the beauty of life. That life is about seeing the problem and addressing the problem, and keep pushing to the sky, right? Sky's the limit. All right, that's that political stuff. I had to just get that off my chest. The next thing I want to talk about is something silly. Angel, I feel so bad for her. Oh my gosh, Angel, girl, what are you doing? So I feel like with that situation, I don't know, I've seen a report saying she's not coming back, and Candace replacing her, and somebody else ain't coming back, Shamia, I think. But I'm an Atlanta girl, don't get it twisted, but I haven't watched Atlanta recently to give you all my opinions on it. But what I will say about Angel is, she got too angry with the women instead of just taking things with a grain of salt. If she just would have just took things as they are and not got so aggravated at everything Giselle did, she fell into all of Giselle's traps. So Angel it had her trip. So I think I've been reviewing, or y'all can watch all my Housewives reviews, they're up. But I kind of stopped after, like, I want to say like episode 8 or 9, something like that, because I got tired of their mess. I might still go back and review them just so I can have like my category completed. But do I want to? Not really. So these might suffice. So the last 2 weeks of the episodes have been Angel on her Colorado trip. And so during this time, she's been able to kind of cultivate an experience for them. But the problem is she wanted to pay them back for how they made her feel, right? We're talking about feelings. And that backfired on her, because when you invite people into your space and your home, you treat them how you want to be treated on a trip, which is what Giselle did on her trip to Nevis. So Angel came in here and thought she was going to get them back. I guess her and the other newbie, Kay, tried to do their, like, you know, like backhanded thing, keeping Tia in the house, which Tia is a phony. I don't care what y'all say, because a friend to all is a friend to none. Because why is you in the house? Because you be talking about Giselle and Ashley too. Like, I don't like girls like Tia. I do not like girls like Tia. Y'all can say what y'all want, Miss Prim and Proper, but she is a friend to none. I don't like girls like that at all. I know they're diplomatic, they do really well in business, but those Bozeman Johns, those Tias, they do very well in business, but they are snakes in the office. They will throw you under the bus and have you wishing you never crossed paths with them. I do not like women like them. Anyway, so this is not about Tia. So Angel ended up having her event, and the first night, I feel like the first day was like a little rocky, because they were like, girls were like, we're not staying together. Weird. That's rude and weird, but they accepted it. Fast forward, like, they had a good pretty much night. They had dinner. They really do nothing except Aspen. They did do that. She got the PJ, the private jet. So the first night they went to her house for dinner, and she just wanted to show her house off, which I also think was rude, because this is how I personally would have planned it if I was Angel. I would have, the first night there, I would have obviously had them drop their stuff off, and then I would have had them drop their stuff off, then say, we're going to have dinner at my house. From my house, I'm going to take you to your accommodations. Taking them to their accommodations, I would have said, then I'm going to pick you guys back up in the morning, and we're going to go to Aspen. And they would only stay really one night in that house. But for her to have them isolated in that place, not next to any bars, not next to where they can go out and have girls' night, was very weird. Like, we on vacation, or at least a hotel where I can go down to the bar at night. That was very rude and weird of Angel. So that's how I would have did it, and had them like at a local restaurant, or not restaurant, a hotel near restaurants, and that would be their accommodations. And so then from there, I think she could have did a night at her house, and then from the night at her house, the next day just go to Aspen. So then I think, you know, the Aspen trip would have been fun, nice. I also thought it was weird that they went all the way to Aspen. Or I would have did like this. I think I said this before. I would have got them there, right? Told them this is their accommodations for the night. We're going to fly out to Aspen in the morning, right? I would have flew them out to Aspen, and then, or I don't think I would have took them to Colorado at all until after, because I would have had them go straight to Aspen, do a night there in Aspen, and then from Aspen say, okay, you guys are gonna come to my house or somewhere near my house, then have them have dinner at their house the next day, and then from the house the next day they could have all went to the creek, and then from the creek they could have went home. And that would have made more sense, because you're going from here to here to here. Where she had them all zigzagging all over damn Colorado. She got lost. She didn't meet up with the crew. And the crew were already frustrated at her because she had them in this dingy house with no water and no electricity and all this stuff. And then she kept crying and not taking responsibility for the things she was doing. And it's like, on one hand, yes, Giselle was being a jerk and kind of bullying her in a sense. But on the other hand, it's like, bruh, we are bougie girls. Like, we're used to the quality things in life. Like, there's no reason for us to be put in this situation where we have to be living in squalor. So I think just overall, Angel really fumbled. So I hear she's not coming back next season, and that's that on that. I got one more thing to talk about, and I'll probably talk a little bit more about Angel on the recap, because like I said, I do think I'm going to do a few recaps on this, just so I can kind of package this up all nice and pretty, and then we can finish the Potomac thing. Because one thing y'all would learn about me, I don't finish shows. I be reviewing shows, but I don't always finish the shows. For the sake of my channel, I need to finish these shows. I get bored real easy. Like I always say, I will not watch a show until it's over. Like once it's like, oh, this show been canceled, then I'll go watch it and binge it all, because I don't like doing week to week shows. They get on my nerves. I need to read my book. Like that's why I like books, because I can just finish the book. I don't like shows where it's broken up. I lose interest real quick. Like let me just finish this thing. I think I'll end it here, because then if I keep going, I'm gonna end up going over time. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It's your girl Nico Nicole. Thank you for joining me for this live. I'm calling these lives mic drops, because they're just kind of like boom, boom, boom. I'm dropping a little knowledge, dropping a little whatever tea, and then leaving. And so I think I'm enjoying doing these little mic drops weekly. So just roll with me. I do want to do like some other things with you guys, but you know, we talked about that before. So we'll talk about that next time. But in the meantime, in between time, if you haven't already, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button. And if you haven't already, hit the like button, comment below. Don't be shy. Don't be afraid to comment. Don't be afraid to hit me up. It's your girl Nico Nicole, and this is Give It a Girl a Mic. I'll see you guys next time, same place. Bye.